say it's permissible, that's the only problem.
Well, everybody pays for security. Because even if it's a graduation party,
Alcohol's alcohol.
you know there's alcohol in the parking lot. So everybody pays for security. And how hard is it for a family member to get somebody out of the hall? Where here the cops just say it's time to leave, it's a third party, it's time to go. So everybody pays for security. We made that a motion a year or so ago where we just put the security in the hall rental at $1,000. We added the money to get to $1,000 for the hall rental.
So the true rental price is not 1,000 because we put the security into it. And if you take
4 hours of security.
4 hours, so roughly at 40, so it's approximately $800,
Right,
$840 to rent the hall.
So if it's $840 presently and we're going to increase by $140 or whatever it is on the damage deposit that's going to be returnable, then all of the pricing structure has to change, right?
He's like,
I don't think.
I
think how we got to where we are at this moment is we didn't want in line 12 to say we were going to charge them $50 an hour here, even though we're saying $23 per police, so that's actually $46 an hour more because there's always 2 cops here. And we were trying to put it up here, so if they made an error here, we would just keep it out of their damage deposit.
because it's pretty hard to collect money from
After
old
the
horse.
fact.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So,
I think it's,
So do you want to just go back to line 16 and just say basically that they forfeit their damage deposit and we just leave it at what it is, and that would actually cover, you know, what, 3 hours for 2 security guards roughly. Is that an easier fix?
call it damage dash security deposit.
No, I think if we stick to line 16, we actually make the change,
Yeah.
otherwise we're gonna have to rework it.
let's just stick to line 16 and,
Say any additional charges will be withheld from the security deposit.
right.
Make that line 17.
No, we just added 16. If more than 4 hours of security is needed, it will be deducted from the damage deposit?
I like the idea of adding a 17 saying any additional charges shall be withheld from any security deposit.
That just makes it clean.
That doesn't eliminate I mean, you still at some point in time might need to have a discussion over what's the appropriate security deposit. But as far as the mechanism by which you can withhold it, it'll be there. Because who knows, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years down the road, the number for the security deposit might be an appropriate number that's different than what it is today.
I think the cost for security is going to go up because everybody's raising it exponentially.
And then leave 16 without saying anything about the $23 per cop? Because that's what we changed, is we added that the renter will be charged $23 per hour per guard. Just leave that off?
No, leave it in there.
Or leave it in there?
Just
Any
add
additional
a
charges
17
incurred.
and say any additional charges
Incurred.
Deducted
will
from
be
security.
withheld from security.
And then that way, if they have if they read that, they might have a question that gives them an opportunity to have a discussion with whoever's handling the contract.
All right, I'll make that as a motion.
Can I just add one thing, kind of a small thing, but since we're voting to make a change, on line 12, at the very least, could we make that bold, underline it? I mean, that's the whole premise of this discussion. You know, we should highlight that a little bit more, like, hey, this is when you have to be out, because now we're gonna say we're gonna charge you down here.
We can make it bold print, probably no big deal. We can turn it red, I don't care.
Because then we have to pay for a colored copy every time.
You already have bolded items in there, you might want to actually, like she said, underline it, to make it just stand out that much more.
So we're going to leave deposit at 160. Is that the gist of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, how many times, have we ever had a damage deposit that exceeded the 160 up till now? I mean, it seems like
We
a
just never
return
fix
the
the
majority of the
damages.
time.
Say,
It's
wasn't
a
there
return the majority of the
There's
time.
that
holes
one
in the
time
wall.
the
We don't
after
fix
we
the
charged
damages.
something
Charges
that
aren't really
Smith, I don't
damages.
know, but that was a little bad.
Extra charges aren't really damages, like,
Yeah.
just add a penalty and whatever.
I'll make that motion to add line 17 and add bold print and underline line 12.
I'll second it.
We'll do a roll call on that.
Davison,
Yes?
DeShano,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, the fire department. Obviously, we all know that there's millage on your taxes for the fire department. And we put money out of each year's millage aside for new vehicles because of the expense that they're getting to be. The fire chief looked at a couple of new vehicles, and as near as I can tell, they've already went up $50,000. And it sounds like he got a report from the builder of fire trucks that they're going to an engine that's probably going to raise the price another $50,000 to $100,000. So there's a couple of trucks was coming down through the line that have not been spoken for, that fit the bill that the fire department was looking at. So I put this together, giving you an idea. Oh, I know why you got two of these, because one is truck A that he looked at, and one is truck B. Truck A was like $100,000 less than truck B.
Well, then, I only got one.
Well, I
No, it
know.
says truck.
You got that
Okay.
other report.
What? There's a number-
You got an A and B?
No?
No,
No,
it says
they're all
truck
the same.
A, truck A,
All right.
and then it says truck B, truck B.
I have truck B.
All right, well, I put them out. But anyhow, what it amounts to, and the scenario is the same. The truck B was the $650,000 job. Both trucks had a generator that needed to be added to the price that the fire department wanted. We're not sure exactly what our old truck is gonna be worth. With these trucks going up so much every month or every 2-3 months, it could be 100, it could be 120,000 for our truck. I put 75 in here just to give you a scenario. And I put in here how much is in the fire department in the checking account at this particular moment, which we can't use at all because obviously we need to leave some there for operations. But there's gonna be another 170,000 coming in 2023, just so you know. And what we have done in the past, and this is true, and I put it in here, that on past balances, on top of what the fire department had already collected, with the millage still going on year after year, is we would charge the fire department out of their millage $50,000 plus, at that time, it was 4% interest. And this was a scenario from previous years. There is no balance on any truck right now that we're taking out as of 2 years ago. So, these trucks, if you put your name on them, you can cancel the order anytime if he found something different, something better, something whatever, until they put the paint on the side with the name.
Understand the two trucks that we're looking at right now, one is 180 days into production. They're getting close to paint time on that. The issues come in with the engines and the standards that they're trying to set up to meet. The newer one, the second truck, is a bigger motor because they're doing away with the one that we were looking at, that motor in that vehicle. Basically, they are the same vehicles, but you're getting price increases. My fear is, well, the new engine they want to put in, we don't want that. And my fear is that they're going to start, and they're already starting to gear up, different manufacturers are, for 2026 standards. that the federal government is coming out with on diesel trucks. That would be looking at $100,000 to $150,000 increase. The consensus is with the different manufacturers and stuff, a lot of these trucks will be costing $900,000 to $1 million.
Okay, so what I was asking you about earlier is kind of a compare and contrast between truck A and truck B. Because at this point,
Right.
what you understand, we have our pick of the two.
On the one, it's 50-50.
Okay,
We can get the one with the bigger motor, because they've got one or two in production. But with the L9, which was the motor we wanted to begin with, okay, that's a 50-50 shot. We don't know.
Well, the day we would give him authority to put his name on a truck would be the day he knows whether he can get that truck or not. They're not gonna put his name on it without,
Money.
well, without us approving it. I mean, he ain't gonna put his name on it without us approving
You
it.
said,
Because once they get that, then they'll be throwing finance issues and all kinds of stuff at us. And you know, if you're getting into the paint, I can already tell you that the plan for that one truck with the 180 days, they're gonna put a big white stripe on it.
well, we can't have that.
No, you just might as well match it up with the rest of the stuff, you know, so.
so,
Alright, so,
so
you go ahead.
Between
the
what
better.
the government is doing and has done, and everybody ordering these trucks, these things go fast. And the prices just keep going up. And now that they're coming out with all these environmental standards that they want to meet, this is gonna get crazy. And I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, one, we do need the truck, ours is 21 years old, that we're replacing. Should we do this now? Yeah, because then that gives us about a 13-year gap, we don't have to worry about a thing. Okay, it gives us time to plan and where things are going and where they're not going. You'll see a lot of departments that'll be buying used trucks because they'll have no other choice. And we've progressed quite a ways with ours, and I don't want to go backwards.
Our conversation, there's one option that we could get, but the other one was the better option. So which one was the better option, A or B?
I would say A if we get it. That's
That's what I would
$650,000. It would have the equipment on it that we want, and we could get that rather quickly. And when you look at it logistically, yeah, it would probably be a better option for us, you know, but.
B is the 650.
Right.
A was the 5-something.
Well, you got, I mean, just under, a hair under 600,000,
Yeah, it was-
but you're adding the light and the generator and
Right.
stuff that has to go on there, okay? So now you're looking at 650,000, okay?
I know, but just so you understand, 650, and then there was a
Right.
generator added to B.
If, that would be the L12, and your base price on that's 50 grand more. And it gives
So
us
everyone
50 more
understands what
horsepower
you're
and stuff.
talking
Well, you got a 12 liter that's
What?
known for less, the 12 liter as a rule has less problems than the 9 liter does.
Well,
Mechanically.
It's just that the L9 engine, they're doing away with it.
Right.
So they've got very few options. And whether we can still have that or not, we don't know. That's the one that they're trying to put in, or going to put in that one truck, but we don't know. If that isn't available, what they're doing is they're pushing the L12. So,
And just so everybody understands, these ain't the only 2 trucks coming down the line. There's probably 100 trucks coming down the line.
it
'cause
depends on how much,
the-
if
the
you do a
600,000
custom order, you're just gonna get a lot more expense.
A year, 440 to 880 builds.
Right.
But I know with all the infrastructure money, it's driven all of these trucks through the sky,
Build time.
almost daily.
With the one coming through, that's usually 220 days. If we do a special order, that's 440 to 880 days. With no guarantees.
So I would entertain a motion to allow Mr. Burt to put our name
On the L9?
truck, I mean, whatever, I'm not gonna tell him which one that he thinks is the best for the fire department, because
So I
it's,
think you just told us which one you thought would do us well,
Yeah.
for the dollars and cents that we are
Right.
looking at spending, so I'd be willing to go far enough, Chief, if you're saying that L9.
If it isn't
do us
available,
If it's available,
what if it's not
Two.
available?
if it's
Well,
not
it might have
available,
that other engine.
there's another engine there with a bigger motor. And it's really the only difference. And we'd be looking at 700,000.
So an extra 50 grand because it's a different engine. I would make a motion that we pursue the L9 with the engine you first spoke of, and then if that doesn't happen, worst case scenario, we could call a set down and get it approved so he could go further, but at least we are getting out that we want to get this truck, and they can find out specifically, and he knows what he's got dollars and
Well,
cents
So,
wise.
so what would happen if your motion read that we go after the L9,
With,
and the day he calls, if the L9 is gone, that we,
There's two available, right?
no, there's only one L9.
One in line, and then they're going to
Two
the 12s.
Okay, I thought.
That he puts his name on the 12, and then we would readdress it at the August meeting.
I would,
And the other reason why I say that, because he can cancel it anytime.
It puts it
You
in
know what?
motion one way or the other.
I know you're not gonna just go blow the money, so I,
Are we, but if we're gonna do that, are we stipulating how this is all gonna play out? If we're giving him the authorization for.
where are we getting the money from?
Well, that's part of it, but also are we gonna go with the terms that have been laid out here? Which would be, it'll take approximately 5 years to repay it. In the past, it's been $50,000 a year with 4% interest. Are those the terms that we're gonna stick with, or are we going to revisit that
I
at the
think
time of
that
delivery?
is something we need to sit down and discuss.
Yeah, that would
I
be
would
something
agree.
we would revisit.
And we've got time,
Yeah.
you know.
They're
We're
not
gonna
gonna
say
give
a
us this
motion to
truck
put our
tomorrow.
name on a truck.
We want this reserved, so then we know what we have to, then we can tabulate the dollars and cents of it. He comes back and says, hey Chuck, we can't get that engine, we gotta take the other truck, it's 50 grand more, and we say, we gotta sit down and have Melissa, and she tells us the dollars and cents, where we can get it from and how we can do it, and then we get it accomplished.
So we're basically making a motion to reserve a vehicle at this
Correct.
point, not to make
Get our
a
name on
purchase
it.
of a vehicle. That's
Get
what I
our
wanna
name on it.
clarify.
I'd like to see the motion read to put our name on one of the trucks. I mean, if you can't get the L9, put our name on the L12, and we'll address then the rest of the situation.
The dollars and cents.
Because he can
next.
take his name off the L12 if
No,
we choose.
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, so we're gonna add that,
Motion to reserve and put name on L9, option A, with the engine preferred. If not available, then the L12, option B.
That's fine.
I'll second it.
No, you made it.
Get on it.
No, he
No,
didn't.
Well, you did it one time, I put you down first, okay.
He
All right.
seconded it.
I don't care.
All right,
Second,
we'll
whatever
go
way you
back
want to
and
put it.
forth.
Anyway, it's
Tired
Spartan
already.
meal, so.
I have the file.
Yeah.
I have the file.
Davison.
I appreciate
Yes.
that file.
DeShano,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Okay. Fireworks permit policy.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's,
Your turn.
Okay, so, this is a proposal here for a permit, for a $50 permit for the fire department permit and to provide the insurance. I think it's a great idea, even though there's probably only one, maybe 2 permits a year that we issue.
Well,
we could've had one the other night, they were blowing off them big shells on 13.
Upon reviewing
Fine job.
the policy that was in place dated June 8th of 2009, there were some things in here where it discussed the application for the permit by the township clerk, the fees established by the board of trustees, which isn't changing, the spectating viewing areas to the township clerk, everything was submitted to the township clerk. And it finished off by saying, once the application has met all the above statements required, the Board of Trustees will approve the permit application. Which, how many permit applications have made it to the board? So this rule obviously has been, this policy, I'm sorry, obviously has not caught up with where we are nowadays. We're not changing any of the permit costs, we're not changing any of the liability insurance. You've set those numbers. Your liability insurance and things like that, you know, those numbers can stand, it's just adopting the policy. And upon reviewing of that policy, we've adopted the International Fire Code, obviously, as our fire prevention code. And there is multiple chapters in the fire code dealing with permitting of fireworks and inspecting pyrotechnic displays and storage and handling and everything else. I cited 5 chapters in the correspondence, or 5 subsections in just the correspondence that I put to support this document.
Line E, is that missing a word on the draft? Just for clarity.
Fire department?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Township Fire Department?
This is what I received, is the one that says draft at the top.
Yeah. So it says that.
Hang on. Somebody got into my paperwork and put it out of order.
I can't imagine where that'd be.
Lindbergh. B.
E as an elephant.
Oh, yeah, that should say township. I forgot the word fire.
I wonder why. It would seem like that'd be right on the top of your mind and on your shirts.
So technically, all you're changing here is like H and I on who, we don't have to have a
Who's-
board meeting to approve
Right.
the application.
Exactly.
The fire
Since-
department can approve it.
Right, since we've modernized our fire prevention code, that's something we can just streamline and be done with.
Unless you guys want me calling you on a Saturday night and stick them on down with that meeting, so they
No.
the fireworks should probably wouldn't work too well.
Molly will handle that, because she is always
Yeah.
around.
I would make a motion that we accept this draft, adding fire to E, to Township Fire Department, as the
Remind me
new
to send that
Buckham Township,
Yeah.
first.
please. This would be the new Buckham Township Fireworks permit policy. So this would have to become part of an application. There must be an application page for this.
Your there is an application online, there is a 2-page application that requires the documentation described in there, as well as the site plan and measurements and all that.
So this would be part of the
Correct.
application.
And they still have to get with Michigan State Police and the ATF, depending on the size that they're doing, because this is only applying to 3 inches.
Well, this is, I mean, you can.
Got it?
I got it, I just need a second.
I'll second.
Let's do a roll call on that.
DeShano,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Davidson.
Yes. Okay, we have an ordinance out there, 2001-003, that speaks of amount of money that the fire department can charge non-residents of Buckham Township if there's an accident. And these are the bills that we usually send to insurance companies or whoever's in the accident at the time. I've spoken to Justin in regards to being this is an ordinance, whether we can do amendment. So what it amounts to is in section 2, the first dot, we go from $250 per apparatus per accident to $450 is what the Township Fire Department is requesting. Up in the middle column, under the first dot under fire department, apparatus charge would be $450. And one line below that, a charge of $200 per apparatus for all instances requiring investigation only. Is what they would like to amend in this ordinance.
So to clarify, if you're saying an apparatus, are you saying one vehicle and everything it is